Hello everybody, Maven here. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we have an experiment to conduct. What is the fastest possible theoretical grenade cooldown that you can get on each class? Now, they may not be exotics that you expect, like Heart of the Most Light, Controverse Hold. These are typically used in general play for grenade spam, but they may not be the fastest possible. So we're going to be using some pretty unexpected exotics in today's video. I don't mean to go full on BuzzFeed clickbait mode when I say this, but the results may surprise you. So with that, let's get to it. Hope you enjoy. Just a quick heads up before we get into it, I'm going to be talking about aspects and fragments and perks and exotics and mods, assuming that you already know what they do. If I had to take the time to explain them, this would be an extremely long video because we have a lot of builds to talk about. So let's get to it. And also, I apologize for the echoey audio. I'm recording this in a big empty room. So we're starting off with the Hunter, and the fastest grenade cooldown I can find on the Hunter is on Arc with the Shinobu's Vow exotic arms. This says that you get an additional skip grenade charge, and when you deal damage with the skip grenade, it refunds some grenade energy. So usually the skip grenades suck, but when you have Spark of Shock and making them jolt targets, it actually makes them pretty respectable, very good for ad clear, and they don't do literal nothing. They can actually take down some pretty big targets when you spam them in rapid succession. So with this build, we're running a copy of Bountiful Wells and 3 copies of Elemental Ordnance so that our grenades will make 4 Elemental Wells when they kill a target, and then we have a copy of Seeking Wells. Now you might be thinking, why run Seeking Wells? That doesn't contribute to the theoretical fastest grenade cooldown. Well, it kind of does, because if you had to take the time to go run and grab those wells, that would be killing time. The fact that they seek towards you saves a lot of time and really helps the flow of combat. So our ultimate weapon of choice with this build is the Traveler's Chosen, because not only does it help your grenade cooldown, but it helps all of your ability cooldowns, and Hunter can spam the Bomber perk on the class item faster than any other class because the dodge is the fastest class ability in the game. So the fact that the Traveler's Chosen is going to help your grenade cooldown and your dodge cooldown, that is going to make it so that you can proc Bomber more, contributing to more grenade energy. And our second weapon of choice is going to be the Xena class with the auto-loading holster and Demolitionist. Now, Demolitionist usually refunds 10% grenade energy on final blows, but because it is a shotgun, it refunds 20% grenade energy on final blows, recharges that grenade super quick. So as you can see with this build, as long as you're getting a Traveler's Chosen kill or 2 every now and then, the grenade spam is indefinite. It does not run out. Now, the biggest problem I found with Arc Hunter is that it's very difficult to survive. Spark of Resistance is not enough to keep you alive, especially in higher level content, unless you're using the crazy broken Assassin's Cowl build. But I do say that the Skip Grenades Shinobu's Vow build would be viable in GMs because you can stay back at a distance and those Skip Grenades have really good tracking. And remember, when they deal damage, it does refund energy. So just passively, you're going to get a lot of grenade regen. Next up is Warlock, and I'm guessing most of you would think that the Controverse Hold would give you the fastest grenade recharge possible on Warlock, but that's not correct because the way that Controverse Hold works, not only is it random, but it only refunds energy up to a certain point and then stops, kind of like how Energy Converter works. If you have 5 stacks of charge with light, it only refunds up to 50% of your super. If you already had 40% and then you throw a nade, it's not going to bring you up to 90%, it'll only bring you up to the limit the Energy Converter has, and Controverse Hold works the same way. So our exotic of choice is going to be the Nezarec Sin. This is an exotic that I always really disrespected and called it a noob exotic because clearly Controverse was better, but my eyes have been opened after having tested it for myself. It's actually insane. So all of your void damage will help recharge your void ability, so it's basically Heart of Inmost Light for Void Lock. So our mod setup is the same as it is on Arc Hunter, with 3 copies of Elemental Ordnance, a copy of Bountiful Wells, and then a copy of Seeking Wellmaker. That setup works very well for grenade spam. But Void Lock does have a very unique combo that will help you pretty much instantly recharge your grenade. If you happen to accidentally run out and you're scurrying to find grenade energy, what do? All you have to do is throw out a pocket singularity, and I'll tell you why. With the combination of the mod Impact Induction as well as the fragment called Echo of Exchange, they both say dealing damage or defeating a target with a melee will refund grenade energy. How much grenade energy is that? Well, I'll show you in a clip right here. We toss our nade away, we pocket singularity and add, and just like that, we get about 60% of our grenade energy back. We get 25% from the impact induction, 25% from the echo of exchange, and another few percent ticking up really quickly from the abyssal dreads perk from the Nezarec Sin. And then you can just top off the rest of your grenade charge by just throwing out your rift and proccing double bomber. And the reason that the deicide is one of our weapons of choice with this build is because, just like we talked about before, it's a shotgun with demolitionist, so it refunds 20% grenade energy on final blows, but on top of that it's void, so it procs your Nezarec Sin. So I'll throw my nade here, I'll get a few shotgun kills, about 3.5 kills is going to fully recharge your grenade. And the ultimate ad clear weapon to pair with this is going to be the corrective measure with demolitionist and adrenaline junkie. This thing is just beast for void grenade builds. And on top of that, we have echo of instability to give us volatile rounds to make this build insane for ad clear, but also our void grenades that we're spamming are proccing echo of undermining and weakening targets. So this build is just extremely effective. And then not to mention, we also have devour. And next up, we are on to Titan. And the reason that I saved Titan for last is because we have 2 Titan builds to get to. And now you were probably expecting us to be using Heart of Inmost Light, but you'd be wrong. We are starting off with Ashen Wake. So the Ashen Wake is going to make your fusion grenades explode on impact, and also it refunds grenade energy based on the tier of enemy that you kill. Now, if you kill a yellow bar enemy, that will instantly give you your grenade back, and you'll see me do that here in a bit against these yellow bar harpies. I just toss free nades at them because I know I'm gonna get my full grenade charge back and proc those elemental wells, and then just get another free nade when I go back to killing trash mobs. And just like before, we're running Bountiful Wells, but with only 2 copies of Elemental Ordnance. So we're going to make 3 Elemental Wells on Grenade Final Blows. Because since we are on Solar, we can run Well of Ordnance. That makes it so when you pick up Solar Elemental Wells, you get additional grenade energy. And we have a 5th mod to go, but we're not running Seeking Wells. We are running Melee Well Maker. So when we get that shoulder charge kill, we are making 2 Solar Elemental Wells as well. And it's very easy to get those powered melee final blow kills on Titan because that knee charge is just so strong. But unfortunately, that knee charge does not proc impact induction, but Soul Invictus, similar to Knockout, will power up your base melees, so it is easy to just go for normal melees and proc that impact induction if you are in close quarters. Now, these fusion grenades do not jolt, they do not weaken like our other grenades today, but they are very strong single target damage because we have Roaring Flames ×3 pretty much at all times that powers up our solar abilities. So they are pretty hefty. Now, my weapons of choice with this build are a little bit loosely decided compared to the other builds today, but we are running the Riptide with auto-loading holster demolitionist. Again, because it is a fusion rifle, it gives you 20% grenade energy on final blows with that demolitionist. And then our borrowed time is surplus and demolitionist, and it's also solar, which helps. And now, one of the upsides of the Ashen Wake build is that if you wanted, you can sacrifice one of your elemental ordnance mods and you can run Well of Life, which greatly helps your survivability. So you'll be a lot more survivable than the Arc Hunter, which is terrible at surviving. And on to our second Titan build and our final build we're talking about today. It is going to be with the Heart of Inmost Light. Of course it was going to happen. It is no secret. So I was looking at all 4 subclasses and pondering which one would be the best with Heart of Inmost Light, and I ended up on Stasis for a couple reasons. The first of which is the Whisper of Shards. When you shatter a Stasis crystal, it increases your grenade recharge rate, on top of the fact that Heart of Inmost Light is giving you ×2 empowered grenade, recharging it faster, so it's kind of like it's ×3 empowered if you stack that Whisper of Shards on top of that. And the second reason I ended up on Stasis is because of the mod called Elemental Shards. It says that Stasis Shards count as Stasis Elemental Wells, and Tectonic Harvest says whenever we shatter a Stasis crystal, it is going to make a shard. So when we pick up that shard, we're proccing Elemental Charge. and that is going to give us 2 stacks of charge with light. And then we have 3 copies of firepower. So with 3 copies of firepower, whenever we throw a grenade, it's going to consume a stack of charge with light and refund 50% of our grenade energy instantly. So the idea is that you throw that nade, refund half your nade energy, you walk up to your crystals and you throw a barricade down on them to break your crystals, make those shards, pick them up, re-proc charge with light, and then it's also going to proc double bomber and also proc Heart of Inmost Light and also proc Whisper of Shards. So all in all, you're going to get your grenade back instantly just by using your grenade. So it is the truest form of infinite grenade spam as long as you keep on picking up those shards. And one of the beauties of Stasis Titan is that you're extremely tanky because of the combination of Whisper of Chains and Whisper of Rhyme. You got constant damage reduction and constant overshield. So our first weapon of choice with this build is going to be the Peace Bond with Subsistence Demolitionist, obviously for grenade regen, and then also if you have Whisper of Rending, the Peace Bond will one-shot your stasis crystals, so very good for ad clear. And our most important weapon of choice with this build is going to be the Salvager Salvo. It has Demolitionist, it has Chain Reaction, very awesome for ad clear and grenade regen, and I love using grenade launchers whenever I'm using stasis. You throw some stasis crystals in the middle of a bunch of ads, you shoot that grenade launcher at your stasis crystal pile, and it just does so much damage to everything in the area. So anyways, that is going to wrap up our builds for the day. It is just pure coincidence that we happen to have one build of each element. That's awesome. Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite. For me personally, I'm going to have to give it up to Void Warlock. Those vortex grenades just have a large radius and suck enemies in, and you can't go wrong with them weakening targets and proccing Devour, getting your health back on every single kill, proccing Echo of Instability, giving you volatile rounds on your machine gun, and also the fact that you can freely just use Wither Horde with this build as well, because your machine gun's the most important thing. It's just extremely good for major clear, ad clear, boss damage, you name it. It just covers the whole board, and you can use it all the way up to Grandmaster level content, no problem. And the spamminess of the Arc Hunter is pretty cool in the fact that it jolts targets, but I just think you're too squishy as an Arc Hunter. Like I said, if you're not doing the crazy broken Assassin's Cowl build right now with Arc Hunter, then it's going to be hard to survive. And I also really like the Stasis Titan build as well, but I would not really use it anywhere above Legend level content, so I wouldn't use it in Master and Grandmaster, because the tankiness of that overshield is not as tanky as you'd like it to be in that high level content. So Legend would probably be the limit on that one, but just for Legend and general play, it is a beast of a build, very tanky, and constant spam, can't go wrong. And same kind of deal with the Ashen Wake Solar Titan, but I think because of the Well of Life, it has a little bit more potential in higher level content than the Stasis Titan. I could be wrong, but I did see PV Shifties solo a Grandmaster Devil's Lair with the Ashen Wake Titan, so it can be used in higher level content. You just got to be really good and know how to pick your targets with those fusion grenades and try to kill as many yellow bars as you can with them. So anyways, I will leave dim links to all 4 of these loadouts in the description and in the pinned comment if you would like to give them a try for yourself. And if you have any ideas on how to improve upon these builds, or if you have any ideas on what build could potentially have even greater grenade spam, let me know in the comments down below. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and drop a comment. Those 2 actions really help the algorithm and the video's performance. And if you are new here and you enjoy Destiny 2 PvE and PvP weapon testing and builds, then you come to the right place, because we do that all the time here. So consider dropping a sub. And with that, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.